Hi, ladies and gents, welcome to another weekly ramble. I'm your host, Scuba Steve, and let's just dive right into it. Now, there has only been small stories going about this week on YouTube. I believe the most daunting of all is that on the 20th of February, which was the Tuesday of this week gone by, the hashtag YouTube partnership culling occurred, where the 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscriber thresholds were implemented. Any channels that were within the partner program to start with that did not meet these thresholds were removed from the partner program. Channels that were either partnered directly to YouTube or via an MCN who met these thresholds were allowed to have continued partnership with YouTube. I am one of those channels, thankfully. Yeah, somehow a little guy like me makes the cut. That's very weird. Yeah, it's a very weird and awkward feeling. But it does kick a lot of musicians and a lot of animators to the curb because they can't amass 4,000 hours of watch time across all their content in a 12-month time frame. The 1,000 subscribers is relatively easy to get to. But other than that, it's just horrendous to see that YouTube has to do this kind of thing to try and save the platform a little bit, make it look more appealing to investors. YouTube doesn't make profit. It's not made profit for years. It's not made profit since its inception. It's still in investment mode. It's not moved it's not moved to the other side to the other side of that line where you've got investment on one side and you've got profit on the other. It's slowly moved towards that line that line that creates that divide, but it's still in investment mode. There is no profit to be made in YouTube as a business when you are like an employee of Google or their parent company, Alphabet. In other news, a lot of chatters came about in terms of the Olatunji brothers versus the Paul brothers. So you've got JJ and Deji, KSI and Comedy Shorts Gamer, versus Logan Paul and Jake Paul. In terms of Deji and Jake Paul, Deji has officially called out Jake Paul to a boxing match. It's not going to be MMA, and it's going to be boxing. I will link that video in the description below. Jake Paul has yet to respond. In terms of Logan Paul versus KSI, on the other hand, there's been a few more developments in that area. KSI has uploaded a video calling out to the public to vote on who he should box next. He's then made a second video when Keemstar from Drama Alert and Scares decided to run with the news that apparently it's been 110% confirmed that KSI is going to go ahead and box Logan Paul. It's not been confirmed. Even though Logan Paul has put up videos across his Snapchat, Instagram, a couple of clips here and there. He's in training against pads. He's in there's footage of him training against pads when he's in Vegas. He's speaking to Floyd Mayweather. Excuse me. But JJ has seen that footage, and he has confirmed that there's nothing concrete here. his management team is talking to Logan Paul's management team and seeing if it is possible to get this sorted out. The only two things that have been confirmed that the boxing event is going to take place. There's actually three things. Okay, the first is that the boxing event will be held in August, and it will be held in England. And the third thing is that by mid-March, I don't know whether I can't mind off the top of my head whether it was the 16th or the 18th. I think it was the 18th of March. I could be wrong. It is somewhere between the 15th and 20th, but I'm fairly certain it's either the 16th or 18th. On a specific date there, mid-March, you will know for certain who he will be boxing next. And if it's going to be anybody that's not Logan Paul, then it's going to be at the arena where he went up against Joe Weller. If it is going to be against Logan Paul, then you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to be a big ass venue, because of the combined pool that KSI and Logan will have. They'll be able to bring in a lot of people to sit ringside. And I'm really looking forward to it if it all goes down that route. I don't think there's anything else. Coming off of YouTube a little bit, the UK experienced a very weird kind of shortage. UK branches of KFC, apparently when they swapped supplier, the supplier couldn't meet demand. KFC couldn't pay their supplier on time, and the supplier ended up severely cutting back KFC's supply of chicken. Yes, UK had a KFC UK had a chicken shortage. I mean, you could always go for a KFC, if you're listening, you could always go for a rebrand. I mean, if you tried alpaca, I imagine it to be quite nice. Kentucky Fried Alpaca, KFA. And when it comes to you on the plate, it spits at you nonetheless. Oh, I crack myself up at times, but only myself. My jokes are very unique. I don't think there's much else to talk about. There's not really been that many topics for me to go in depth and rant about. Excuse me. As much as I would like to. Either... Yeah, I know, the Iron Brew can is very prominent. You're probably thinking, why? Because I can. It's helpful. It's the old recipe without aspartame and with the heightened sugar content. Recently, Bar AG decided to change the original recipe of their Iron Brew carbonated drink. So the new recipe has reduced sugar levels, so that way Bar don't have to pay sugar tax here in the UK, and they've replaced that lost sugar with aspartame, which to me, a very, very avid drinker, not avid, I've drunk far more Iron Brew in my life than I care to count by the litre. I've tried one of the new cans, I can definitely taste the aspartame in it. It's a unique kind of sweetness. It's tens of times sweeter than sugar, so you only need a minimal amount to make up for the lost sugar. This is one of the few cans that I will drink because it's the original recipe in it, and the heightened sugar. After I've ran out of my supply here, I'm going to swap to cola. Believe it or not. I really shouldn't, because the black in it can stain your teeth. You don't really want stained teeth. Especially when you're my age, when you're in your mid-20s now. And you want to keep your teeth looking good. But yeah, that is probably what I'm most likely going to do for that there. A lot of people have went off the head at bar because, really, we should call them out on not being original anymore. If you take a look at the logo, they are dead center, original and best. Well, a lot of people are claiming that it's not the best anymore. And that same amount of people are claiming that it's not the original recipe anymore because of the change in the sugar and the introduction of aspartame. It's no longer an original recipe, it's a modified recipe. So if I had the funding and resources, I would actually take up class action lawsuits against bar to get rid of the original and best slogan. More so because it has the word original in it, and it's not the original recipe anymore. It's anything but the original recipe anymore. If you want to take up class action against them, be my guest. But I'm too poor to do such a thing. And why would I want to do such a thing? I don't like the courts anyway. Anyhow, I believe that's me for the time being. If you like the video, please feel free to leave a like, comment below. If you really enjoy the content, sub away. If you really enjoy the content, click that bell icon so you can get your notifications of when I upload. And I hope you're enjoying the week long of uploads that I've had for the last few days. I quite enjoyed it. These tracks are so good. The originals and my Nightcores, they sound so brilliant. I love them all. Especially the Pact, which I released yesterday. It's a really touching one. I like that. I hope you enjoyed the one that's coming out after this vlog, after this weekly ramble is up. Until then, I am your host, Scuba Steve, and I hope to see you all next time. Till then, peace.